You've heard about the new altered content disclosure for your YouTube videos, and you want to know how it affects you and your content. Well, I'm going to break it down as simply as I possibly can in this video. Last week, I was meeting with a client, and they brought up this altered content thing. Honestly, I hadn't really heard about it, but tell you the truth, YouTube is good about changing things up and popping in new requirements here and there all the time. And I noticed that as I was uploading a video, I saw it. Actually, I scrolled right past it because it really didn't stand out. And then I thought, oh, that's what he was talking about, altered content. So I wanted to know exactly how I was going to be affected by this, but not just me. How is the channel that I manage going to be affected by it? And how are the channels for all of the creators that I work with inside my programs going to be affected? So I went straight to the horse's mouth, YouTube, and I watched an interview with Jennifer Flannery O'Connor, who is the VP of Product Management, Trust and Safety at YouTube. Now, before I get into the nitty gritty and the details of all of this, I gotta say, I think I know where all of this is coming from. And if you guess it has a lot to do with AI, artificial intelligence, you're right. And this is because the AI world, the tools, the apps, and everything else associated with it are blowing up faster than we can even keep up with. And whenever I'm talking to someone about a new AI tool, it's kind of funny. Inevitably, they will say, ooh, that's scary. Or what if somebody uses it for bad? Or what if somebody uses it to impersonate you? Or that could be really dangerous if. And honestly, most of the time I agree. But I also want to say it is not going to stop me from using AI to stay competitive with my business. One really cool tool that I tried recently is the Ditto dubbing tool by Daryl Leaves. Oh my gosh. What this tool does is it translates your video into dozens, if not hundreds of different languages. This is something that's going to be more and more critical as we turn into even more of a global economy and a global society. But here's the thing, it doesn't just translate into some robotic sounding version of what you're saying in your video. The voice actually sounds like you. Check this out. ¿Te sientes abrumado por el ciclo interminable de creación de contenido para tu negocio? Isn't that incredible? Just yesterday on the news, they were talking about all the possible dangers of voice impersonation by AI as these tools get more and more advanced. And frankly, I think they're late to the game. But several months ago, I was almost scammed by what seemed like a legitimate video message from a YouTube employee. I double checked the name, I looked the guy up to see if that was really him, and I listened to the video. But before I took the action that he said that was required on my channel, I watched the video one more time. I noticed his lips weren't matching the words. And here's the thing, I consider myself to be fairly tech savvy and generally unscammable, but I almost got. And this brings us back to YouTube's new policy. What this is basically an update asking for creators to self-disclose any altered or synthetic content. This disclosure is going to be in the details area of your video right here. A few important things you need to know about this self-disclosure. One, you can disclose on videos that have already been uploaded, although you don't have to. And that would be a huge problem for creators who have hundreds, if not thousands of videos. Number two, they say it doesn't have any impact on the reach of your video or on your video's monetization eligibility. But what they are looking for is realistic, meaningful, or significant edits to your videos. For example, if you try to depict something happened that actually didn't really occur. So alterations that don't meaningfully change your content do not need to be disclosed. So if you've used some type of a filter or voice enhancement maybe. There are two kinds of labels that YouTube is going to add to your content with this disclosure. And most of these labels are going to appear in your YouTube description. An example of this is if, for instance, you made a video showing it snowing in Honolulu. And in that case, it's just going to be a label added to your description. However, If it's related to something more significant or more sensitive, like if you made a video of a healthcare professional saying something that no healthcare professional would ever say, therefore, that's going to be a label added to the front of your video player. Basically, as a creator, you should think about if you are altering the content in a way that might mislead or confuse your viewers. They don't want that. As a creator, you can also add additional details to your descriptions to add context to any of the alterations that you do make. Now, they didn't indicate that there are going to be any immediate penalties for creators who do not disclose. But in the future, they say there could be consequences if creators are really trying to deceive their viewers in a significant way. So that's what I've learned about YouTube's new altered content disclosure policy. And this is a recent addition that is aiming to sort of maintain transparency and authenticity in the content creators' uploads. And personally, I think it's a double-edged sword for sure. But I'm curious, do you or are you planning on creating content that would need this self-disclosure that it has been altered in any way or it is synthetic? Even if you don't, what do you think about this new policy? Do you believe that it's a step in the right direction for maintaining transparency, or do you have concerns about how it might impact creators in the long run? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.